rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? Welcome to the premier nighttime Knicks joint, the Knicks at Night podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Freezie, rocking the spot for the next 2 hours or so. Is this for me? Oh, thank you. That's a surprise. I just started the intro. Ms. Mocha showed up with gifts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I feel special. What's good, party people? How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there tonight? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm moving some stuff around here. Right? I got the crew is coming in a few to come hang out with us. So y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly. Right? Okay. All right. King Ribby is in the house. Allah Wise is in the house. DSJ is in the house. Andrew College is in the house. What's good, boss? Kev Guapo is in the house. How y'all doing out here tonight? Good. DSJ opens up with, did the Knicks land Donovan Mitchell or Mikal Bridges yet? No. Front office is trash. Clearly a troll. Right? Miss Mocha made some chips. Let's see how the chips taste. Oh, these are pretty good. Okay. Yeah, those are pretty good. I'm going to turn this phone off because it's mad noisy. Let me turn this phone off. All right. How y'all doing out here tonight? I got some things that I want to talk about. Of course, I'm a chatterbox when it comes to topics, right? But want to start off with some Kev Guapo that says RJ is looking good out there with Canada. Yeah. I think so. And DSJ says, y'all want RJ to use his right. Y'all want to start Emmanuel quickly, right? Fire Tibbs, I suggest y'all set it off on your left jaw. Set it off. I suggest y'all set it off. You're supposed to say Randall also, but I get it. I get it. So, I imagine that there are plenty of topics out there that you guys want to talk about. There's one in particular that I'd like to start the discussion. And again, clarifying, like when we have these discussions, I generally have to clarify once or twice for those that don't know what conversation is. Conversation doesn't necessarily mean it's a person's opinion. It's just something to talk about. It's a discussion. And old man says he heard something about Embiid coming to the Knicks. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I don't think Embiid to the Knicks is a real thing. If it happens, I'd be excited, but I don't know if it's a real thing. So let me put the link out here early. Bam. All right. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the house. Called Mega's in the building. Wiz is in the building. Wiz, what's good? Oh, Danny Landis is in the house. Paris Duggar is in the house. Paris Duggar says if we get any of those big names being mentioned, they will all but cancel out Randall. He can't handle the truth of not being top dog. Yeah, I don't know if that's accurate. I know that's an assumption. I know it's a conversation piece, but I don't know if that's totally accurate. What I will say, you know what? Let's do. Okay, here's the thing. Bully, what's good, boss? Oh, Bully ain't straight yet. Bully backstage. Okay. When Bully ready, I'm gonna play his intro. So I don't have an official intro for Bully yet, so I'm gonna play the 718 boys for Bully and until we get him a hip hop intro. To all my people uptown, Harlem, Brooklyn, get ready for your main man's Corey Lee, Staten Island, and Boulevard 73, aka CL Smooth and Bully, the Bronx, your 718 boy. Queens, everybody, everywhere. Yo, we got to get you an official. We got to get you an official intro, man. How you like this one though? For the time being,
man. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. Salute. First of all, salute to you, Uncle Freezie. How you doing? Keisha Muse, love you, baby girl. The chat, I love y'all. Love y'all, man. That doggone intro is fire to me. You ain't gotta change nothing else. I mean, I know how Corey feel about it and whatnot. He love it, but I know what he want in there. But to me, mwah.
Right.
Facts.
Right.
Kerry, what up? All the chat. What up, y'all?
Yeah, I talked to Lee about it.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Lee about it, man. And what it is he didn't hear Queens in there, but Queens is in there twice.
Oh, Queens is in there twice, definitely.
Yeah.
But I know what he want in there. He want that off the Grand Central Parkway, the World's Fair joint by the joint. But I mean, you know, it's cool. What up, Trini?
Yeah.
What up, Jenny Landis?
Yeah, we gonna have to tell. It's an intro, bro. It's not a movie. You know what I'm saying? You only got time for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How you today, man? I tried to hit you up, man. I seen you earlier and everything. What I wanted to say real quick before you get started. I want to thank you for that intro, man. I mean, yo, me and Cole, me and CL was like, wow, kid, like, yo, that's dope. And I mean, you did that like that. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate it, man. For real.
I'm gonna show you how Corey Lee steps in the room, though. This is how Corey Lee steps into a room, bro.
Uh-oh.
That's how Lee steps into a room, bro.
Go ahead,
what's good, boss?
CL.
What's good? Son, I did not say what I wanted. I said, damn, I wish he would have.
I mean, ain't no disrespute, bro.
Hold on a second. But see, stop. It's like that old game telephone. You tell somebody something and you pass it along, and by the time it comes back to you, it done changed 150 times.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, you're right. But anyway, I know you wanted some representation. You wanted some representation of Queens in there, as you should have.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool though. I ain't tripping. Come on, man. Y'all got too serious.
Stop.
What, me?
Stop.
So
no,
we playing. This is.
Yeah, I just opened the show, and next thing you know,
can I get a chip?
Giants fans is frustrated. Yo, really? I don't know if you're gonna like these, bro. And
Why?
I'm trying to do like mad veggie stuff. And,
okay.
So I got veggie stuff masquerading as treats. So it's like fried cauliflower masquerading as like French fries looking things.
Man, I had a whole chicken salad just now, man, that I built up, man. It was so good, man, with some zesty Italian sauce. Dressing, man. Off the chain.
Yeah.
Off the chain. Yeah, man.
Anybody else out there trying to eat healthy? Anybody in the chat trying to eat healthy? Trying. Look who backstage. I'm gonna bring him up.
Bring him on up.
The first thing I'm gonna do is put a rock in his shoe. I like putting a rock in my man's shoe, and then that way he be because what happened is he gonna be quiet, right? And then I put a rock in his shoe, and then he ain't gonna let y'all talk. Period for like 4 hours.
Let him get it. Let
me bring my guy. Hey, BT, what's good, man?
What's good, man?
BT.
What's good, bro?
Boy, he got that. Boy, you stay with them hats. Boy, you stay with them hats.
I got to, but it's funny you say that because I was gonna come on here tonight and just listen and try to give as little context as possible.
Right. Yeah,
but it's good to see you guys again, man.
Peace.
No doubt, bro.
So y'all hit that like button, man. Hit that like button and subscribe, man, to one of the best shows in podcasting, especially in New York City when we're dealing with these Knicks. Let's get it, y'all. Stop playing.
Stop playing, y'all. Let me throw the rock in y'all shoe just real quick. All right. I think the Knicks can win the NBA championship this season. Like a lot of teams, though, everything has to go right. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that because what it immediately does is it gets your hopes up. And then when you get let down, at the end, you're going to be like, man, I know I shouldn't have listened to that dude. Right? But here's why.
You got to switch in the Everclear.
I'm just going to say, I don't think the Denver Nuggets, LA Lakers, Sacramento Kings, Milwaukee Bucks right now are better than the New York Knicks. And I know what y'all about to say. Man, first you said 60 games. Now you're talking about the Knicks winning the championship? No. I think the Knicks can win 60 games. I think that's certainly attainable. But in my mind, if everything goes our way, I think the Knicks can be the 2024 NBA champs. BT, what you think?
To be honest, after talking like how we've been talking about contracts and how we've been talking about Atlanta, I heard you talk about Atlanta the other night, how we were in position, but we lost to them and they made it. So it's possible, man. Plus, we're all healthy and they all stepping up. I mean, I know it's FIBA basketball, but it's still basketball. I see this in the Eastern Conference Finals, like Game 7 type, old school Knicks fighting for it. But if you believe it, man.
Wait a minute.
Shoot.
Somebody got some beef with you already. Somebody got beef with you already. You ready for some beef?
Yeah.
I'm asking if you ready for some beef, let me know. Somebody got something to say to you already. You ready?
Yeah.
You ain't even said that, but you said 30 words and somebody jumped in right now. Let me at him.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out. Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you.
Yo.
Are you still mad about the hard contract that I was that close?
But I'm coming for Freezie. I'm not coming for you. I'm coming for Freezie. That's not a lock.
Boy.
Okay,
that's not a lock.
I'm a step
Battle Royal. Battle Royal.
Comment you threw in our shoe. You didn't throw a lock
snap.
in our shoe. Knicks winning championship. Come on, Freezie. That's not a lock.
Wiz.
That's like Haley's comment you threw in our shoe.
Where's Utica?
What kind of take is that, Freezie?
Lee,
sorry, man.
Lee, you heard his response. So Lee, you know what I said? I said, I think the Knicks can win the championship, right?
And he lost his mind.
And he didn't even hear the context. He didn't even hear what I actually said. I think the 60 wins are more attainable. But I did say I think the Knicks can win a championship if everything goes right. Did I not say that, Bully?
Yes, you did.
Okay, that's still a boulder. That's still a comment. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Everything goes right with this squad the way they are. That's not a championship. That's ECF. I'm sorry, Freezie. I can't take that.
Hey, bro. Bro.
Wiz, I just seen you on the Queen show. You hype. You hype.
Traded RJ and Mitch and got Embiid and Mikal. Or Cam Johnson. Okay, there we go. That would be the if.
Can I say something? Why? Can I say something real quick though, Wiz? You just said Embiid. Why would we want a player that doesn't play a full season and then on top of that, it shows out in the playoffs? Like he's not all there in the playoffs. You're muted. I'm muted. I just wanted to hear what you got to say.
Yo, you saw RJ last game.
Mm-hmm.
right?
He ain't asked you about RJ. He asked you another question.
I'm sorry. Okay, repeat it. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Now, I just asked about you said Embiid. We should get Embiid, and I said, why would we get a guy who, yes, he was MVP last year, but he's not going to play a full season, and we're going to have to trade the farm for a guy who doesn't show up in the playoffs. Last time I checked, it was Harden that helped them win those 2 games.
You know what? Okay, you got a point there, but at the same time, Embiid instead of Mitch is championship. Mikal Bridges instead of RJ is championship.
But we have to trade the farm to get them, which makes us okay. When you subtract more than you add, it doesn't help.
Okay, I mean, I'm not saying I make the trade. I'm just saying that this squad, based on Freezie's take, is not a championship squad. Even if everything goes right, unless what you mean by everything going right means that the other team, like Joker gets injured or something. That's not right to me. If everybody's healthy and everything goes right, we are not winning the championship with this squad. And I'm putting that take out there. And I'm optimist. I'm Mr. Optimist. And the man who keeps on singing.
Obviously, you're not.
I was just gonna ask, like, how do you not feel that as a Knicks fan? Like every year, you should be like, we making it to the finals because that's every
we gotta be
every
hyped. We gotta be hyped, man. We gotta be hyped.
You didn't say championship. You said make it to the final. You didn't say championship. That's the next step. I believe every year we have a chance to make it to the ECF with this squad and even potentially finals. I don't see us beating the top 2 teams in the West right now.
Okay, so hold on. So you're saying we got enough to be the best team in the East, but not to finish the job, is what you're saying.
What's so special about the West? Hold on, Wiz. What's so special about the West that we can't get out there and kick tail? Come on, bro. Utica. Tell me. Talk to me.
Boy, Brooklyn, you slide bitch up in the house.
I'm always Brooklyn, though. I ain't gonna never stop that.
Say that Jamaica, but not Jamaica Queens. Okay, not Jamaica.
I know
Queens.
I know where you at. I know where you at, homeboy. Yachty.
Okay, man.
All right, Yachty. Yeah, come on,
Everybody
Yachty.
want to try claim me in Queens. I'm from Brooklyn. Little Jamaica in Brooklyn.
And we love you here in Brooklyn, but right now you're on the West
Oh
Coast.
boy, here we go. Now you trying to start a civil war.
Yeah, come on, man.
I be some 818. I try to stay close. 818. I went from 718 to 818. I try to
718, man. 718.
I'm still close though. 818 is close. I didn't go to the 323, the 310 in LA. I went to the
212.
To try to
212 347. 929.
Different area codes. I got different area codes.
516.
626. 516. 518.
There we go.
792.
212, baby. 917.
Yeah, come on, area code. Come on, Ludacris.
I'm trying to figure out how we sidestep the main thing though. The main thing was
because he's a Brooklyn Dodger and he's dodging the answer.
Oh, yo, that's balls. Big call.
Okay, that's tight. That's tight.
Them.
No, I'm just saying we are not constituted if everybody's healthy on all teams to beat the best in the West right now, and we're going to be very difficult for us to be the best in the East. But I do as a Knicks fan, I'm optimistic that we could do ECF, and we could even squeeze through to the finals. I'm just trying to be a realist as well. I don't see us beating Denver.
See, but the thing is, you're basing your statement out of your belief system, but not the landscape of the NBA. Right. You're basing your answer and response
to
a lack of confidence, but not the NBA landscape, which are two different things. What you're confident in and what the NBA landscape are two different things. Now you can tie one to the other, but they are inherently two different things. For instance, you're saying that the Knicks may not be able to beat teams from the Western Conference. But then when you look at the NBA champs, they lost to a team in the Eastern Conference twice last year. You know who that team was?
The New York Knicks. But
so,
not in a 7-game series.
We couldn't beat them is not true when data suggests that we actually did beat them. One with
can win
Jokic
games.
and one without.
We can win a couple games. I don't think we can beat them in a 7-game series. My challenge is the 7-game
Sweet
series, just like
Jesus.
in Miami. I think we beat Miami last year, and we faced them with Miami last year during the regular season. But in the playoffs, when there's a coach who can make changes on the fly or game to game and counteract our very, very predictable offense, maybe to have a little twist this year with DiVincenzo. I just see an ability to shut us down and stop us from winning games at the most elite level, the very top level.
Hey, somebody got some feedback, man. Somebody got an echo thing going on. Oh boy,
It ain't me. It ain't me.
and that's Lee. Lee, if you got some headphones, bro. If you got some headphones, just put some headphones or do the canceling thing. All right, there we go. There we go. My bad, Wiz. I just want to.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. I made up on that. That yes, we may have a little twist in the offense this year. We got a little scoring. We got a little boy there, Dante there. The Delaware Michael Jordan. Coming through some moves and some shots and some energy,
right.
And then lots of stuff. We've improved. I mean, there's no question. I think we've improved this year, and we'll improve just based on experience and working together, teamwork. The point guard coming to the second year in a row, showing his skills in the FIBA that just going to magnify what he can do. Hopefully, Tibbs is watching those games and seeing how he plays with those guys. I mean, of course, having a Cam Johnson and McCall and Anthony, man, to pass the ball to, it's kind of, no brainer where I'm like, okay, I can score or I can pass. Either way, we're going to score. So I like the way this game is going. So I do see us improving and taking the next step. The next step for me is ECF fighting for the finals. I just can't take the next step with you guys yet. Maybe it's my trauma. Maybe it's my PTSD. Again, 1977, New York Knicks, Lonnie Shelton, I keep on saying
Ray Williams,
my mom was
Spencer Haywood.
Spencer Haywood.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have some trauma for the past 50 years where I have not seen a ring, and I still have that fear that, man, we just can't quite get over it. I've watched my yard man Patrick take it there, finger roll. I got guys trying to do layup 3 times, getting blocked under the rim. I got an outside
Patrick Ewing,
guy
the greatest
shooting,
Knick ever.
missing.
So Wiz, that's what we. So Wiz, that's what we saying. Your lack of confidence and the NBA landscape are two different things, right? Like for instance, if what you're saying is seeing is believing, you got to see it to believe it, right? What I'm telling you and BT is this. Enjoy the ride, because the championship ride is more fun when you expect good things to happen. If you fight in the whole way, like when you're a little kid, you like, I don't like Great Adventure. Why the ride too long? Why we always got to stop and get snacks? It's hot in here. Why she always? And then you get the Great Adventure, and then you like, wow, look at all them kids having fun. Bro, what I'm saying is enjoy the ride. Have fun in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun with your cousins on the way to Great Adventure, bro. Have fun. Get them snacks. Get them snacks from 7-Eleven that you like on the way to Great Adventure, and have a good time while you there. That's basically what I'm saying.
Freezie, hold on, no, I'm not making you a Freezie. You. I think you said Great Adventure twice. I think you meant Action Park, right? And then Great Adventure, right?
No.
Okay.
No. If I just wanted a cheesy little joint, I'd have said Bear Mountain. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anybody remember Bear Mountain?
Hell yeah!
Anybody? Any old heads in here remember Bear Mountain?
Y'all I remember Bear Mountain.
Ride Park.
You couldn't afford the Six Flags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Freezie. I thought you said, because I heard you say, actually, I heard you say Great Adventure twice. I think Freezie said Action Park and then Great Adventure. Well, okay,
if
yeah.
I wanted something cheesy, I'd have just said Coney Island.
Yo, hold on, kid.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
greatest place in the world.
No, it ain't.
Pause.
Hold back on that.
Get some cannolis on the boardwalk.
Pause.
Hey, no lie. Coney Island lemonade be fire though. I ain't gonna lie. Coney Island lemonade be fire. I mean, I don't know what they put in that lemonade water.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
You
the
know,
bagels in
The
the
Atlantic
city.
Ocean.
You get on the Himalaya. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
And back then the hot dogs were fire too.
Yeah, back
We
then.
don't know better.
And the
We
frog
don't know
legs.
better.
And the
Or
frog
Fort
legs. Get the
Nathan's.
frog legs. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yo, DSJ, what up? Okay.
What's going on?
Uh-oh.
Hey,
DSJ.
yeah,
Everybody in the
split
chat.
the
Salute to the panel.
Salute.
Salute.
Salute. Yo, you know how many people Action Park killed? If you look up do the research on Freezie, I know you're a research man.
Right.
Action Park, before they changed it into Split Splash or whatever it was called, you know how many people Action Park killed?
Oh,
Yo,
man. Oh,
Action Park took my soul 4 times, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Water
The
slide.
wave pool. The
Yo,
wave
they had
pool.
no guard.
Oh,
When you
man.
go
Y'all a
down
bunch of
the-
Man, I thought I was
softies.
about to die.
Action Park was nothing
Slide
but
over the
fun
water.
and games.
Yeah,
Death. No,
or
fun
games
and
and fun,
death.
depending
Softies,
on how.
the whole lot of you.
Yeah.
Or the
Oh
wave
my
pool.
God.
Oh, here we
Yo, that wave
go.
pool, I thought I was about to fly back to New York when I got out that wave pool. That thing flew my little skinny
Yo.
butt in the air. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
And
That
you like,
big
man,
old
I'm going
freaking
to the
ball
moon.
I
just
bet you learned how to swim though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to.
I bet you learned how to swim though, didn't you?
Oh,
Yo,
facts,
that water
facts,
used to
facts.
come. You
The
used to
hard
have
way.
Action Park.
waves coming when you walking on the safety part. They're like, "Oh, walk against the wall." The water be hitting you, pushing you into the wall. You're like, "I ain't even in the pool."
I think
Yeah.
I think my handprint is still on the wall, just trying to hold on. I
Just
think
trying to
my
hold it,
fingerprints. But no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to change the subject. I'm sorry, Freezie, man.
But
But
Freezie,
man,
yo,
yeah, back in the day, yeah.
Yo, let's use last season. I enjoyed every second, even the last game. I enjoyed the ride. I'm just apprehensive at a certain point where I'm like, you know what? And maybe in fact I'm settling where I'll be satisfied with ECF. I'll be satisfied making making it to the finals. Maybe I'm being complacent and trying to be satisfied with less than what I need. You know,
No,
I'm not saying do it.
You want to
I'm
you want an accolade or achievement, something that you can point back to and say they can never take this away from us. But what I'm saying to you is what I'm saying to you is a championship is greater than all of that.
True that. And I'm not gonna stop doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. And doing it well.
You're gonna do it and do it well.
I'm gonna go do to satisfied.
Oh, Brooklyn.
That's right.
Yeah.
But okay, you got a point there. I mean, like I said, I want that chip. Oh man,
You don't sound too confident. You said Embiid. I would have preferred you say.
That's because you're hanging out with Gladys Knight the pitch.
Oh, yeah, you was. Yeah, I see you on the Queen, kid. You was good on the Queen. Hold on, Freezie. Where you at, Freezie?
Wait, I just want to know was
Go ahead, we good.
I'm here. I'm backstage.
Hold on, Freezie. Look what I got, Freezie.
What makes you think we can't win?
I gotta be surprised.
I'm gonna say 2 letters.
He hilarious,
they're
bro.
the same letter. I'm gonna say 2 letters and the same letter.
I love y'all.
I'm gonna say 2 letters and they're the same letter. I'm gonna say the same letter twice, basically. So I'm gonna say 1 letter twice. And TT. That's
Tips?
it. There we go, baby. There we go. Thibodeau. I'm sorry. That I think Freezie is seeing us as we could be, not as we are.
Wiz,
You need to change your prescription.
Wiz, hey, you know what the thing is though? I'm gonna say this, man, and it's gonna sound crazy, right? But as a 50-plus-year-old man that grew up in the New York tri-state area, I used to hear people say the same thing about Bill Parcells. Right. Right.
Ooh.
Man, he be playing, he run the ball, man. Like he just trying to be Joe Gibbs. Anybody remember Joe Gibbs?
Yeah, we call him Joe Gibbs.
Anybody remember that Washington Redskins offensive line?
It didn't turn to a West Coast owner.
With Mark May and all them dudes on it, and they used to always
Joe Jacoby.
Joe Jacoby and all them dudes on it, and they used to always have a 1,000-yard rusher.
All the time. He went to a NASCAR. He went to a NASCAR owner.
Yeah.
Parcells had a certain player on his team.
Wait. Hold on. Let me finish
Keep
my
going.
point.
Go ahead.
Let me finish my point. My point is that everybody is that guy until they do it. Right?
Yes.
Everybody is gonna be that guy that is stubborn and do things his way, and it's the wrong approach and blah 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 until they do it. And you know how I know this to be true? Because I watched Mike Malone in Denver win a championship, and you know what the knock on him was? Tell me if you heard this before. Man, he's stubborn. His rotations is out of whack. He don't reinvent stuff, man. He don't adjust well in games. You know who else? Was like that? The coach in Milwaukee, right? When he was in Atlanta, they was like, man, he don't make adjustments and blah, blah, blah. He don't do all these things. And blah blah Budenholzer, and then when he won a championship in Milwaukee, the talk eased up. So what I'm saying is I understand Tibbs is a certain way, and I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, any given year, talent can overcome all these things. And you know how I know this to be true? Jokic made Mike Malone's offense and defense look elite, right? Giannis made Budenholzer's offense and defense look elite. Now, the Tom Thibodeau conversation, and I know what y'all are going to ask me. I think BT is itching to ask me. BT is itching to ask me. Right?
I'm trying to relax. I'm
right.
listening.
He like, yo, they had Giannis, they had Jokic. Who do we have? Right?
Brunson, Randall, like who's on that level?
We have what you call a team. Right? We have what you call a team. Like cuz even though Denver had Jokic and Murray, all them other dudes, DeAndre Jordan and KCP and all and all them dudes, they just recycle parts, bro. Aaron Gordon, they just recycle parts. You can get them parts from anywhere. You can get them parts from AutoZone, right? What I'm saying to you is this team has a dangerous mix, and when I say dangerous, I mean combustible, right? A combustible mix of young players eager to prove themselves, veterans wanting to make the All-Star game and get NBA accolades, a head coach that wants to prove all of y'all wrong about the way he coaches, right? And role players that want to find a home, right? Our role players want to find a home. Think about the contracts our role players signed, bro. Our role players didn't sign a 1-year deal looking to be a free agent again next year.
No, multi-year.
Yeah, our role players signed 3-year, 4-year deals where they can come in and stay and help contribute and build something, right? So I understand where the Tom Thibodeau narrative comes in and out of. Sometimes I'm on it too, depending on what degree and what subject we're talking about Tibbs. Like if there are some things to be said about Tibbs, I agree, and I jump in on that part of the conversation. But what I want to tell the non-believers is, in August, I think it's hard for a championship contender to wave the white flag before we even get our pieces on the chessboard, right? Before we get our pieces on the chessboard, I'm not gonna tip my queen over before I put my other 15 pieces out there. You know what I'm saying? Now I know Wiz want to do that. I understand. I understand that might be a Brooklyn thing. That might be a Bed-Stuy thing. But from where we come from,
whoa, no, you can't do that, bro.
What?
You can't do that. You can say Brooklyn, but you can't simplify a certain area.
No, respect.
You can't do that.
Listen,
it's
respect.
not a Brooklyn thing.
I play chess, and that's not a Bed-Stuy thing. I'm sorry.
But that's what Wiz was making it seem like.
But Wiz ain't from Bed-Stuy.
Yo.
Where's from Crown? Where he from?
East
Crown
Flatbush,
Heights?
baby. East Flatbush.
He's from
East
He's from the
Flatbush.
90s. He's from the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from the
I'm from the
90s.
50s.
Oh, see, that's not Bed-Stuy. I'm from Bed-Stuy. I'm sorry. We play different things.
We arguing over 5 blocks.
Yeah.
That's a New Yorker.
And
Corey Lee, you from Brooklyn too. Stop playing. You was Wiz's neighbor.
718 boys.
He born in Brooklyn, but he raised by Queens. So yeah, I mean,
born and raised.
He used to beef with Wiz over the same girl, some girl named Renee, while they was in the second grade together. These guys have a history to go way back. I don't know why it got to be Renee. That's I guess at the time that's what they was naming all the pretty light skinned girls at that time.
Ain't that the way the song go, right?
Either your name is Renee or Renee. Either your name was Monique or Renee. That was it. That was your
hold on,
options.
DJ. Hold on, y'all. Family. Y'all gotta respect Renee. You gotta respect Keisha, and you gotta respect Trish, and you gotta respect Sharon. That's it. I'm telling you, they love us.
Don't it go?
And I love them too.
Angela,
but that was
Pamela,
the names.
Renee, we love you because you from around the way. Ain't that
exactly?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why we gotta cherish them and we gotta love them for who they are. I still love them to this day.
And Corey Lee and Wiz loved a Renee, and that's why they still beefing to this day.
Oh Lord!
I was because Renee was my babysitter.
The second grade. Listen, since the second grade, this has been going on, and this is a matter of fact. This is what turned Corey Lee into a pimp.
Oh, you gotta be
got his heart broken because she chose Wiz, and he said it'll never happen to me again. And now he moved to Queens and became a pimp.
That's your own thought.
I understand it. I understand it, brother. Listen, I still give you a virtual hug every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just dispute. You can't deny Brooklyn. You're born in Brooklyn. You're a Brooklynite.
Brookdale Hospital.
Man, I was just my mom's doctor having a beard. I was supposed to be born in Queens General.
You were born in the right
borough. They don't even have your
Corey.
You know they tore the hospital down, right?
I know.
Yeah, they tore that thing down, man. Felicity Hospital on Far Rock, man, where the helicopter port used to be at. Man, they tore that down too.
That's all right. Killer Kings County still lives forever.
Oh, that's where I was born at. Chill, kid. I was born in Kings County.
Yeah, me
Stop
too.
playing with me.
Killer Kings County lives forever.
We family.
Despite the name.
I got a little bit of this, but I'm still a good man. Okay. Anyway,
going back to the point. I'm
on the West Coast, right? So, you know what? Every Golden State fan here in LA, every Lakers fan here in LA saying about next year, got the chip. They got the chip. This is our year. We got this.
Jesus.
Okay, that's what they're saying.
Hold on a second. Pause, gentlemen. Let me answer this question. Let me answer this statement, bro. Yo, man, did the Smoking Knicks send you something in the package? Because you're bugging. You don't ate the wrong brownie.
I'm just saying.
You ate the wrong brownie, bro.
We're saying. Every fan of a gifted team is saying what we're saying in more ways than one. Most of them are saying this is our year because we're that close. I mean, Lakers were like, man, if we had put that team together 6 months earlier, at the mid-year, Lakers are like, we could have taken Denver, which meant we could have taken a chip. That's what Lakers are saying. Golden State Warriors are saying, man, little turmoil, a little upheaval, but we're back on track to who we are. We got this chip. So they're saying the same thing we're saying, and they see a pathway for their championship. And then Denver, of course, are saying, we're on top of the hill right now. You got to tear us down. So they're saying...
Are you saying because they've already been to the mountaintop,
it's
easier for them to say that they've
what everybody else is saying, but we're talking about.
They've all been there. They all have friends who've been there. Who do we have that's been there? Dante? Kind of, sort of.
You know what they say about Ish, right? It rolls downhill.
Hey, so
it rolls downhill. You know that, right? When they're talking about Ish.
on the point that we're saying is about being to who do we have that have been to the mountaintop? That's an excellent question. But you can look at it from a couple of ways, right? And Bully probably remember this.
Speak on it.
Like in 1989, 1990, hip hop had some of the dudes on the mountaintop, dudes like Kwame and Kid and Play, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, guys like that on the mountaintop, right?
Don't forget the Souls of Mischief. You had
hold on, Bully. Hold on. I got you.
Oh, okay.
Let me finish. I'm talking about 90. I'm talking about 89, 90. Right. But in 1989, 90, right? He had what's the white rap group? The two white dudes rapping. Third base. Third base.
Yeah, I love
third
Step
base.
Into the AM. Step into the AM.
You had Jungle Brothers out. You had a Tribe Called Quest out. You had De La Soul out.
Yes.
Right. But in 91, 92, 93, while those guys were on the mountaintop, right? There were young, hungry, up and coming rappers, right? Right. One dude sound like he was always out of breath. He was like, yo, 222s in my shoes. Holla if you hit me, love. I'm in the house. I'm a little hard to see what the party is about. Something. I'm a bad boy.
I'm a bad boy.
Yeah, you remember that?
Who got the spot? Biggie.
And another dude said, I gotta have it. I miss Mr. Magic, versatile. My style switches like I'm an intellectual. So you had while some was on the mountaintop and they were experiencing this thing called King disease because they've been to the mountaintop, they liked it, right? They got they full of it, they got they feel of it. But at the bottom of the mountain was dudes that said stuff like, I clown around when I hang around with the underground. Like these dudes at the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Wanting to come on the way up. Dudes that named
Liar.
Tupac. Dudes name Notorious B.I.G. Dudes name Nasty Nas in your area about to cause mass hysteria. And so what I'm getting at ultimately, and the reason why I do this analogy is just because you've been to the mountaintop and you like it, don't mean the mountaintop is forever yours. You go there, you stay on top, and then the hungry dudes on the way up come and knock you off. That's a part of progression, right? We saw Mike Tyson get slapped out by Buster Douglas. Because on one night, Buster Douglas was more hungry than Mike Tyson. We saw the other day Earl Spence get the brakes beat off him by Terrence Crawford because one dude was on the mountaintop, right? And the other dude was hungry. What I'm saying to Wiz is just because they went to the mountaintop and they liked it and they enjoyed themselves and they feel like they can't get their feel of it. Young, hungry, up and coming teams climb up that mountain and knock teams off, bro. Look at I'll give you an example. If you remember who knocked off the 1980s Boston Celtics, the 1980s Detroit Pistons, the 1980s Milwaukee Bucks, the 1980s Philadelphia 76ers, you know who that up-and-coming team was? The New York Knicks. The New York Knicks. Nah, the Bulls had the easy path. That's why every time we got to the Bulls, we was wore out and tired. Because while the Chicago Bulls are playing the Atlanta Hawks, you know what I'm saying? We playing the Pistons in a 5-game series. We playing the Celtics in a 5. Larry Bird laying on his stomach in the third quarter just so he could come out and light it up in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to Wiz is I understand how things look. I understand the dichotomy. I understand the perception. I understand the picture that the NBA paints for these teams that are on the mountaintop, right? These teams are on the Mount Rushmore, right? They are on the Mount Rushmore. But, bro, never forget, Mount Rushmore is a mountain. It's a mountain, bro.
They working.
Yeah, bro. The Knicks, right? Just because teams have been better than us for years, don't mean they will be better than us this season. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm not, and I know in Bed-Stuy You know what I'm saying? Cats like to lay their queen down before the game start. But what I'm saying is in August, bro, we can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? I think Jalen Brunson deserves a fair, non-hypocritical look at being a championship level point guard.
That man an all-star, man. All-star, man.
It's like for the old heads in the building, when there was a time that they used to call Irvin Johnson Tragic Johnson because he used to choke in the playoffs. Y'all remember that in the early 80s when the Celtics used to beat the Lakers in the finals? They used to call him Tragic Johnson when James Worthy used to always throw the ball away, choking. Y'all remember the pass? James Worthy threw a pass straight to Gerald Henderson to lose a game, and then he came out the next game and threw a pass straight to ML Carr. And you're like, yo, you just did this the other day. But that team went on to become a dynasty. So what I'm saying about the Knicks is before we say the story is all said and done, let's read the story. Let's open up the book. Let's not look at the cover of the book and assume what's on the inside. That's all I got.
You're not even letting them actually tell you the story. Like, you just assuming, oh, it's just like all the other books. I see your point. You got to give it a chance. Maybe this story's different. Plus, if you really look at Giannis, when Giannis won it, nobody expected, don't get me wrong, he was a beast. But nobody really looked at them to win it. 2015, look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry was balling in 2014, and nobody really said nothing. But now, when they won the championship in 2015, what do they say? Oh, it's because such and such got hurt. No, they stepped up and performed. So you got to let the season play out.
There's not a doubt in my mind that I would be happy to be, surprised, and I'd be glad to be wrong. But I'm just saying that right now, the way the team is, and again, TT back there is there that I just can't give my full confidence in. And maybe I'm afraid of being disappointed again, but try to aim too high. Again, I'm saying we're going to ECF. I'm saying we could even go to the finals. I'm just seeing enough cracks in our shield that is potentially there. Now, when you talk about hungry, by the way, I think there's a grizzly bear that's really hungry over here in the West. A very hungry grizzly bear. That if things fall right and they get someone head straight, they are bad boys. When you go Western, man, they came looking for gold, and there's some nuggets out here that felt they got a taste one time, and they're healthy. That taste is tough to not go back to get. Once taste blood, you ever saw they say when a lion or a tiger tastes blood the first time, they come back hungrier the next time. It's not like they've been running the table, those two teams. And then the guys a guy who never says, you can't call me out. You never called me out. His name, LeBron James. I know he's old. I know he's like 60 years old. But man, he's a guy who's saying, I have a legacy to prove. But he's a young, small little kid who always get injured with weak ankles that thinks if I get one more chip, I have to be in the discussion. And he's hungry for that as well.
But don't you think those teams are going to be fighting each other, knocking each other out, while the Knicks are just, have lesser comp? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the Eastern Conference is lesser comp, but the teams you mentioned, like Golden State, Denver Nuggets, they all got to, scrap to get into the finals. And by the time they get there, you don't think that they still going to have energy for us, especially the way Randall and everybody else produces?
No, there's argument.
Hey, Paris Duggar, this is for you, Paris Duggar. Paris Duggar says Magic Johnson blew one game. Hey, Paris Duggar, your memory is terrible, bro. I searched. All I did was type in Tragic Johnson, and 50 articles came up saying from that point. And look, the '84 series against the Celtics is best known as the series where Magic Johnson became Tragic Johnson. And Paris Duggar said, it's just one game. Paris Duggar, come on, bro. Your memory terrible, bro. I just typed in one phrase. I just typed in Tragic Johnson, and 200 articles showed up. And my man said it was one game. Come on, big dog.
Now,
Hey, Paris, I need you to take some of them pills, bro. What's them pills for your memory?
Oh, the knuckle left it. The knuckle.
I thought it was
Yeah, maybe some ginseng. I forgot what the other
Yeah,
one.
the ginseng root
MSM.
thing, man.
Gotta drink some ginseng.
So
salute
the
to
pro
my
and
man.
con of that,
Ping.
the pro and con
Yo,
about
C-Mac is
facing
crazy.
tough-
C-Mac, salute to you, baby.
My bad.
Yep.
My bad.
He
My
said
man
BT look like
Nugget,
Juicy
too.
J.
Yo, the pro and con about facing tough competition and along the way easy competition. There's a pro and con about that. Freezie could argue it perfectly. The pro about facing really challenging teams.
Yeah,
all the
like
way
why
to the
Giga
championship.
Columbia.
And
I'm
then
sorry, Wiz.
Hey, hold on. Go ahead, Wes. Go ahead, Wes.
So the con,
Sorry, Wiz.
your argument is a con that because they're so challenging to go through those tough guys, when by the time they face us, they may be a little beaten up. They're going to be worn out a little bit.
Okay.
But there's a pro towards that as well, where the better country, the better your game gets. The more challenges you have, the better you get. So the possibility is, because they're going through a tougher challenge, when they get to the finals, they've seen it all, and they've seen the best, and they're ready to take on anybody. So I'm not going to argue that they're going to be...
Wiz, what I was saying was, like you said, LeBron James, the Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors, like all those teams got to battle each other out. So at some point, we're only going to face one of those teams, as opposed to us, to where we have a better chance. Because if you really look at whatchamacallit, look at the Bucks. The Bucks, they still got Giannis. I'm not going to knock them off. But then even if you look at Boston, the real teams that we got to battle is probably just Boston and the Bucks, because the 76ers is taking a step back. Most of the top teams that were above us are taking a step back. Brooklyn, the Nets probably might sneak in, but they're not going to really go that far because that's a young team. And they're going to be carrying off of the backs of Claxton, and they're going to be carrying off of the backs of like three superstars that they had last year.
So you're arguing a point for me a certain way. Do you know the samurai sword is one of the hardest, sharpest sword in the world?
Yeah, because it's folded over 1,000 times. I know.
Okay, that's what the West is.
But this is what I'm saying. That's you got 10 swords that are all samurai blades. They're gonna cancel each other out at some time.
But there's gonna be one left that's been through the fire, that's been hardened.
That iron has been sharpened against other iron. Yeah.
So that's what I'm just saying. That's
Still
a
sharp
possibility. So that's what I'm just saying. We may come up and be like, when we face the West after we roll through the East, because all these guys got little flaws, little problems. We cruise through. We may even go 4-4-4, and then last game we called Moses Malone and be like, "Did you say 3-4s or 4-4s?" Until that fourth one, you're gonna be like, "Damn, there's another one to face." And now we face these guys who are like elite, and we're like, "Wait a second, those guys are moving like they've played the best in the world."
A blade is only as strong as the handle. Remember that. So if you got handles, all 5 of you starting 5 holding tight, and you got your bench as well backing that up, that's a hard blade to stop. So at some point, your hand's gonna get tired from fighting all those strong blades. That's all I'm saying.
You know, still sharper stills, right?
General sends you to the wrong front. Unless the general sends you to the wrong front, or says the general may be like, you know what? Let's just attack from the front. Forget the flank. Then we get flanked by the West. I'm talking about the general, not the players. I believe in our players. I'm not so confident about our general.
Do you?
The general I'm talking about, is a guy named TT. I keep coming back. TT, that's all I'm saying. Players, I have never mentioned that one. Even RJ, I'm giving props to. Although this, by the way, I got a take on RJ this weekend where I was not impressed with the points that he scored as far as inside game. And his 3-pointers, of course, is a little closer. I like his 3-point shot. But the drive to the basket, I was not impressed with most of them. So but forget about that. But I still think he's going to improve because he's working on that drive. He's working on finishing, and his shot looks really nice.
Well, they play Germany,
I'm
right?
not blaming. Yeah, exactly. But I love our players. I'm telling you, I don't doubt our players have skill sets to possibly take us there. But it requires, this amazing leader that's going to go, okay, you go here now. Okay, you step back a little. And this guy who's coordinating is a guy who may be like, let's go hard, man. Let's go hard. And that's what I fear.
So Brunson stepping up to the plate, being that leader, and then Hart also reinforcing it with Randall doing what he do isn't a good. Plus the DiVincenzo coming off the bench, and plus as well as you said, RJ stepping up. You don't think that that's going to be even harder to deal with than?
That's why I'm calling ECF or finals. But I'm saying there's a point where in 7-game series against elite teams who've been through other elite teams with an elite coach, we may face a wall because the one thing we have is a guy who's saying when to go, when to rest, when to move, or how to do it by not having an offense that is not predictable, and maybe just depend on
Did you
read and
say?
react.
Wiz, did you say the word may?
I did say
Yeah, like the mo.
Yeah. You said May is once a year. All right. So he go. So somebody got some beef with you. Hold on.
I just hear the chamber loading.
Hold on. I have no beef. This is Chief Instigator, not Chief Rocker right now. What's up? What's up, fellas? What up, Freezy? What up, Lee? What up, Bully? What up, Brian? What up, Wiz?
What up?
Ain't not. All I'm saying is the Giants run. All I'm saying is the Giants run New York, bro. The Giants.
You got that right.
Probably got it right.
Make sure y'all tune in to Hard Knocks when y'all done with this stream tonight. Just make sure y'all tune in.
Wow. All I want to do is give Giants they props. You know what I'm saying? And here we go. Random Jets fans got to stick they. You know what I'm saying? Got to inject their 2 cents.
They need to dig up Chad Pennington.
It's only but one or two times per decade that I get to pop my chest out. So. I might have to do it.
What you mean 1 or 2 times? You guys had Revis Island, Antonio Cromartie, man.
And we haven't been to the playoffs in 12 years, brother. It's a little bit longer than that.
Revis Island.
Yo, Dre.
I think about
what's up?
Jets' butt fumble.
Oh,
Dre, I'm sorry. I just wanted to prove you and Uncle Freezie. I do wear Crocs and I do wear sliders, man. So I just want to, send an olive branch to y'all.
For sure. Gotta have them, bro.
Okay. But I'm wearing them with socks. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Same. I'm not barefooting it out here. Not
you got you got the knee socks on with the shorts.
Tube socks.
Yeah, the tube socks.
The tube socks now with the ones with the stripes? Nah, not happy.
Yeah. But
I want to play, man. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. I told the fellas, I told them straight up, I'm going to put a rock in their shoe by telling them I think the Knicks can be the 2024 NBA champs.
So you trying to get people corns? Is what you're saying?
Nah, if you wear slides, if you wear slides, you don't have to worry about a rock in your shoe. You know what I'm saying?
More like a broken toe.
But my thing is though, is let me say it like this. If we had the Washington Wizards roster, right? And the Washington Wizards had the Knicks roster right now with Jalen Brunson and Quickly and RJ and Randall and Grimes and Mitch, we would look at that roster as if they could win it all.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. And so my thing is the only reason why we diminish, in my mind, the only reason why we diminish the value, the potential value of this team is because of historic calamities. And what I'm saying to everybody is historic calamities has nothing to do with the present. if the calamities, the people that committed the calamities are no longer here. And the people that committed those calamities are no longer here. There is no more J.R. Smith who would go 10 for 17 in one game and then 2 for 17 in the very next game, right? There is no Carmelo Anthony. If he don't get the foul call, he gonna come down and flagrant foul somebody. You know what I'm saying? There is no Raymond Felton coming into game one in shape by game four. He out of shape. You know, you're like, yeah, how does this happen? This is impossible, but it happens. Like all those people, and shout out to Ray Felton too. I'm trying to get on the show.
Oh,
So Ray,
Raymond
if you heard
Felton.
that, right?
He the only one I heard that said he liked Carmelo Anthony.
So yeah, so what I'm telling Wiz is if this Knicks team, if the Boston Celtics had this Knicks roster, right, and Jason Tatum and all of them played somewhere else, we would be looking at Boston as if they are a dynasty in the making, right? But because it's us, we view it like Murphy's Law. If anything bad happen, it will happen.
It will happen. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is I know we've stepped in puppy poo in the past, right? Right? But the thing is that what you learn from stepping in puppy poo is, for one day that puppy gonna grow up and be a dog, and he gonna know better. Two, you gotta watch where you walk in. You know what I'm saying? And so if you take life lessons as they come, and just look at it for the mere fact that this team is a very talented roster with multiple players. The league views multiple players on this roster in high regard. Multiple. We don't, because we are scarred. We are. Hey, Bully, what's that song? Kept Deep Coming, Ride. You remember that song? Luke,
Yeah.
You remember that Luke song?
Luke, yeah.
Yeah, anybody?
Coming.
Too Loud Crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, Too Loud Crew.
No, that's Luke. That's
Luke. DJ.
Just Luke.
That's Luke.
Yeah, that's just Luke. Yeah. Nah, Two Live Crew had that song. Big booty hoes, hump with it.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that from Friday?
Yeah, lizard.
Right. Yeah.
We're suffering from bad and
I
wild.
just got a quick question. Wiz, real quick though. Did anybody think that Detroit was gonna come and win back to back with Chauncey Billups?
Well, I mean, they only won one.
I mean, my fault. Yeah, my fault.
But they went to like 7 straight.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. So with that team, and they had strong defense, and everybody was like, "Yo, what's up with?" You know what I'm saying? Detroit was that team that just surprised everybody, and it was just based off of their defense, mostly.
I agree with Freezie up until a point. Like, I think in terms of depth, I think we're probably one of the deepest, if not the deepest team in the league.
Right.
Like 1 through 10,
Right.
1 through 9 of just solid to really good to great NBA players. And a lot of the other teams have holes in that regard. But the only caveat I have when you mention like there are certain guys that are here. Well, Tom Thibodeau has been here for when we've been great and when we've been mediocre and when we've struggled. Like he was here as an assistant in the 90s through a lot. It's not necessarily the talent, it's how the talent is optimized or used, in my opinion. I think when we talk about like how this team would be viewed in a different place, I'd have to look up the infrastructure of said team. I think we have a great infrastructure. I would have to look up the coaching, number one. I'd have to look up how their identity is. We have a lot of things in place that can make us continuous contenders, at least being into Eastern Conference Finals. If we were to hold on to a lot of guys on this team, I think there is like an invisible ceiling with this particular coach. I don't hate Tom Thibodeau. I think he raises our floor. I think he gets us to the precipice, but I don't think he's the guy that takes us over the mountaintop. I think he's the guy that helps us get to the guy that gets us over the mountaintop.
So who would be the ideal dude that take us further?
He's Moses. He's not Aaron.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like put it this way. Like when we talked about these teams that made these runs that we weren't expecting them to, you got to look up who are the coaches of those teams. What was the infrastructure of said teams? Like when the Pistons did it, Larry Brown was there. Now Larry Brown is outdated for today's game, but at the time he was perfect for it. Early 2000s, mid 2000s, it was an isolation game, slow down game. So he designed
and coached
defenses
for
around
multiple
that.
teams. And
Yeah.
coached for
multiple teams that got to the finals. Multiple teams that got to the finals.
And who was the
That's what I
other
wanted
coach,
to say.
Detroit coach? Was it Rick Carlisle?
Yeah, Rick Carlisle was there before.
Yep.
Right.
And then they won with Larry Brown. Rick Carlisle left. Remember? So it's one of those things where I think there's a finite ceiling.
So you think we are that era's Indiana Pacers?
We might be.
Y'all remember that era's Indiana Pacers? Jamal Tinsley, Ron Artest.
Oh yeah.
Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine O'Neal. Yeah.
Jermaine O'Neal. Yep.
That was a tough team.
Yeah, they couldn't get past the
Dutch boy in the paint. The Dutch boy in the paint.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even Rick Carlisle learned long enough soon after, and he got his ring.
Yeah.
Rick
but
Smith,
it's like
I don't see us like that. I don't see that. I got to disagree on that a little bit, man. I don't see us like that.
Well, Rick Smith wasn't on that team at that time.
No.
He just left. He just left.
Yeah.
Their center was Eric Dampier.
Right, Eric Dampier. Oh man.
But it's like I think talent for talent, top to bottom, there aren't too many teams deeper than us, if at all. There might be some teams with higher end talent, like a Jokic. You can't combat a Jokic. Jokic, it is what it is. He's generational.
He 1-1. Yeah.
Like top 5 guys, we can erase that. But most of those teams with top 5 guys don't have the depth. We do.
Right.
We kind of can sustain injury. We can hit teams with wave after wave. But it's ultimately when you get into the playoffs.
King Tibbs, hold on. I'm sorry not to cut you off in your cooking.
You good? Go ahead, bro.
King Tibbs recognized when it's time to make certain adjustments to make this team move forward. I mean, he has to open up his brain a little bit, man. I mean, all right, I understand the 9-man rotation. It got us to where we went and where we needed to be. But he got to expand a little bit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got to expand.
I was going to say, in the playoffs, most teams cut down their rotation. So it's more so like, to me, it's the process of how we get our results. It's not necessarily the rotation, because rotation, if you go look around the league, teams get to the playoffs, they chop their rotation down to 8 guys, sometimes 7.
Yeah.
What about the regular season, bro?
Yeah. The regular season, I can acquiesce. I can agree.
I don't think so. I think you know what you saw. You know what the end result of your 9-man rotation was in the playoffs?
Guys getting hurt by the postseason.
Randall hurt.
Yeah, he run them down in the ground. Yeah.
Randall hurt. Brunson banged up. Quickly banged up. Mitch hobbled. Grimes hurt. Jericho Sims with a shoulder injury. Yo, what you gotta do if you're Tibbs, it's like when you're driving from Brooklyn to Georgia. Certain stretches of road, you could put your foot in the floor.
Yeah, that's right. Put your foot in it.
And then other stretches of road, you got to cruise, right?
Like, yo, take a night off. Like, we got 3. Like, sometimes, like in baseball, like there might be a day off one day in the week, but it's on a Monday. So the manager's like, yo, Derek Jeter, you can have this Sunday off. You get 2 days off, extend it. You know what I'm saying? Get off your feet.
Right. Don't even come to the facility. One of those days, don't even come to the ballpark.
Stay home, man.
And like some of that can be, you got to remember, these guys are human beings, and the grind of an 82-game season and playing damn near every night, 35 plus minutes,
and high leverage.
You running these dudes ragged mentally, not just physically. You running these dudes ragged mentally.
But
mentally.
what you guys are also forgetting is
Hey,
that,
hold on, y'all. Let me finish. I just want to finish my point. Because when y'all was talking about the rotation thing, I ain't say nothing. I just want to jump in with the rotation part. Let me finish my point about the rotation.
Gotcha.
The thing with a 9-man rotation is, sure, it gives you the championship look every night against any team, right? Like what Dre said, I was going to get to that. And with the 9-man rotation, it gives you the opportunity to beat any team on any given night. But what it does is it puts you in that mindset that every night is a game 7. And the reason why game 7s are special is because they themselves are rare. But if you play 82 of them in the regular season, right, and then you get game 7s in the playoffs, by the time you get to game 6 versus Miami, who scored 96 points in a closeout game,
Cooked.
you don't have the gas. You don't have the gas left in the tank to put up a decent fight. Part of that has to do, and part of it has to do nothing with Tibbs, but everything with talent level, right? You play the 9-man rotation because you're not deep enough to play 10, right? Right. And then 2, you're in a mindset where certain guys want to get into a rhythm, and they can't get into a rhythm if they only playing. They feel like they can't get into a rhythm because they're only playing 31 minutes. What you have to do is be more like San Antonio was with Tim Duncan and Kawhi and Ginobili and Parker. Like, bro, when you out here on the floor, I'm gonna feature you and you give me your 100%, right? But you're not playing 35 minutes. You're not playing 38, 40 minutes. You're gonna play 32 minutes, and in those 32 minutes, you're gonna give me absolutely everything you got, and the other 16 minutes is gonna go to Boris Diaw and Bruce Bowen and all those guys that play a
Tiago
lot of minutes.
Splitter.
Yeah,
like
they play a lot of minutes
Danny Green.
also. But the lineup flexibility, they get 4 minutes here, 7 minutes from this guy, 3 minutes from this position, and before you know it, your minutes distribution over the course of an 82 game schedule balances out to you being a star in 31 and a half minutes because Tony Parker's backup, Patty Mills, is a pseudo starter. So by the time the playoffs come and Tony Parker is off his game, all those extra minutes you gave to Patty Mills can hold it down until Tony Parker get back on his game. The reason why the Knicks were not able to do that is because Knicks ran a 9-man rotation the whole for the better part of the season. So when RJ Barrett or Julius Randle was off their game, the other guys on the rosters were not prepared to pick up the slack.
It's like what I'm supposed to do.
But
right for that reason, you don't want to be the bullet train. You want to be the great space coaster. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Everybody is getting significant minutes during the season. So if RJ Barrett come in game 4 of the playoffs, if RJ Barrett's shot is off, now Grimes can pick up the slack. Right?
I was gonna say, Freezie. It reminds me. Reminds me of when Bruce Brown signed with the Nuggets, right?
Okay.
And what's his name was coming off the knee injury. Jamal Murray. So in that time, Bruce Brown got so many reps at point guard throughout the season. When it came down to the postseason, he was ready to give you a pristine 20, 25 minutes. It didn't even matter. You didn't have to play 35 minutes. He was already ready to go.
Together.
And they had the chemistry because you were mixing, matching. You had a hodgepodge rotation. When you for the most part, when you see our lineups, if you see a guy that's like not in a particular rotation, they just look out of place completely.
Yep.
Like
Randall at the 5.
What?
It just doesn't work because we just don't put in the requisite reps. So we build up the muscle memory, the mental memory. Like chemistry is something that takes time and it takes on court. Like you can practice it all the time, but once it comes to high level situations, you got to be able to do it And you might make mistakes in a game, but you got to be able to work through your mistakes. The thing is, Tibbs is averse to mistakes happening at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was
That
gonna
Because
say,
he's a
and that's what stifles your ceiling, because if you're talking about the Warriors or any other team that won a title, they had to go through a rite of passage of making mistakes in
right.
high leverage situations, regular season or postseason, and they work through those
Trey, you
mistakes
just
so they
spit.
know what to
Trey,
do later.
you just spit out
but
4 points. He
Oh,
spit
my
out four
fault.
points.
I was gonna get on. Let me know when I could go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you good.
so you spit out like 4 points. What I want to do is dissect them, right? Because Lee made a point that you circle back to, and Bully made a point that you circle back to, right? When Bully asked about Tom Thibodeau, right, and blah blah blah, what happens is the discussion we were having, right, and the discussion that we were having, basically what you and I are and Bully are alluding to is maybe Tom Thibodeau is just a regular season manager. Maybe the playoffs, he's not cut out to be that coach in the playoffs. Now, can he learn? I think all in today's age, bro, in today's society, age is not a factor in what you can
Facts.
learn. Right? You can learn anything. You have so much information out there, you
Mm-hmm.
get information overload. Even like now, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm looking at securities securities essentials stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you get so much info, but Dre, you made 3 points. What I want 4 points. I'm sorry, the fourth one you were just about to get into, but I wanted to talk to y'all about this though, because Dre just like yeah, I remember the dude that was so rich that he was so rich that his horses couldn't move, so he was just throwing gold nuggets off the carriage
Mm.
so so
Yeah.
the, so the carriage can move.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mansa Musa, right? Y'all heard the thing,
Yep.
Mansa
Yeah,
Musa.
yeah.
Um,
Yes.
um, so so the thing I want to talk to y'all about, and I think it makes sense to have the conversation about it. And everybody, feel free to jump in. Just hear each other out so that we can get a full understanding of where everybody coming from. The 9-man rotation, I think, for us was a gift and a curse, right?
Mm.
It's like how in the wintertime you warming up your car, like it's like 2 feet of snow out there, and you look out the window, you hit the auto start in your car crank up or whatever, and you just want, then you get in the shower and all of that stuff. The blessing is when you get in that car is gonna be nice and toasty. The curse is when you look at that gas hand, you're like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Just
Yeah,
used up some gas to just
yeah,
do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But
So
what?
I think the 9-man rotation is that. And is Wiz, you still there? So Wiz is away.
Oh,
I
yes,
want
I
to.
Okay.
am. I'm here. I'm listening.
Let me.
I'm mute. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
muted.
okay. What I want to ask you is part of your trepidation, I think, is deep rooted in a certain thing. Is that deep rooted trepidation? Because you brought up Tibbs first before all of us. Is your trepidation about Tibbs that you think he is a regular season coach and not a playoff caliber championship level coach? You think you
One,
think he's the opposite of Mike D'Antoni?
100%. Exactly.
Okay.
That is my
May
definition.
Okay.
May I say something real
Hold
quick?
on, BT,
Okay. Okay. I
let that
just
man cook.
like I said, I've
Yeah,
been
go ahead, Wes.
quiet.
Yeah, Wes.
No. I wasn't going to elaborate. I wanted to ask you
Okay.
a question and then let you take it from there because I just
Okay.
want to, yeah,
Hey, go ahead,
100%. That's
BT.
it.
Okay, so with the addition of Brunson last season, we actually had a point guard that Tibbs can rely on, as opposed when he was a head coach. And on top of that, what most people don't realize is he was mixing and matching for that season. This season coming up, he has already the set 9, adding Vincenzo at night. So now we actually have a deeper team to where he can do a better rotation and have better support. That's what I was saying about Tibbs. So for me, this year, that regular season is going to be a lot easier for him because he already figured out the formula last season. So he's going to have the same team come back with 2 extra pieces that can also help. I think that we're going to be a lot better in the regular season off of that.
But you gotta remember, we're really replacing Obi with Dante. So like our rotation isn't necessarily any there in terms of minutes. the talent fit is better, so we're better in terms of depth that way. But the actual like allocation of minutes might be kind of more the same because we're never gonna do the 10-11 man thing. I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say we're never because Tibbs tried to do that and then he cut it short. We might be able to do it this year. So
Right.
That's what I'm telling you because of the formula he figured out last year. But you right, Dre.
So,
yeah,
so what you just said,
it
by the
depends
way,
on his approach. It depends on his approach.
by the way, what you just said actually, what Freeze has been saying is that he's calling 62 wins or 60 wins, and because of what you just said, yes. But I guess what that's regular season. I mean, prior to tonight, Freeze didn't lose his mind and go for championship. Freeze actually was open to the possibility that we will excel in the regular season and we may stumble in the playoffs. But again, but of course with new data, we just come back with new data, which means he has a new concept, new perception, and now he's presenting the possibility that we are a championship team. I'm not there yet. He's got to reel me. He's got to drag me there. Right now, you got to drag me there, Freezy. I just can't make that step right now.
Well, hey, let's look at things in context though. So first, I said the Knicks could be the 2024 NBA champs. Right. So we didn't make the prediction that they will be. We're saying that they could be if everything goes right. And y'all know what it is. Y'all know it takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make it
Rest
out
in
of
peace,
sight.
Easy Rock. Rest in peace, Easy Rock. Rest in peace.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if we talking about those components, whereas if we talking about those components, the dual components, we're talking about Tom Thibodeau's coaching in the playoffs, and with the other component being this roster may be more ready than what you think.
Facts.
Should be going it.
Yeah. And hey, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, "Hey folks, don't let a nerd from Google shape the theory of Magic Johnson with their Tragic Johnson take. Magic had one or two bad games ever.
How is it but the Tragic Johnson term originated in the 80s, so unless you're saying the 80s writers were
that's a long
nerds.
time ago. Yeah.
And there was no advanced analytics back in the 80s. It was you was a hooper or not. That was it.
Yeah.
Either you could ball or you can't ball. Ain't no VORP, no war. Ain't none of that.
Right. Right. And so the other thing too that we were mentioning, right? The other thing that because we went from Tibbs to the rotation. It seems
we always do.
Yeah, like we always start one place and end up somewhere else. But the rotation thing is a byproduct of who is productive and who is not. Because there are going to be some nights where Tibbs see a guy that guy don't have it. He ain't gonna play that dude, and he don't care who outside of Randall and Brunson. All the other 10 guys that are playable, Tibbs, if you ain't got it, if you 1 for 7 and you low energy, and your defensive rotations is just Tibbs are gonna sit you. So our conversation about the rotation thing is kind of like chasing waterfalls. Right. Some nights Tibbs gonna play 9. Some nights he's gonna play 11. It's just what it is. He is gonna push the buttons that he wants to push in order for that team to win on that night. Now, we would like for it to be more accommodating. We would like for it to be more predictable. But the thing about Tibbs, like we mentioned, Corey Lee, is Tibbs is going to coach all 82 of them games like it's game 7. Right? Right? And so on those, so in the summertime, predicting what Tibbs is going to do in game 37 is crazy.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like Bully, just for instance, just real quick.
Yes, sir.
Right. Say we down by 7 to the Boston Celtics Jalen Brunson goes to the bench and quickly comes off the bench, scorching hot, right? And then puts the Knicks up by 8, a 15-point swing. Tibbs is gonna look at Jalen Brunson and be like, "Easy, big fella, relax. Let quickly cook." You think Tibbs? I'm telling you, Tibbs would let Michael Jordan take a few extra minutes breather if there was a 15-point swing, right?
They get themselves right. Yeah, they get themselves right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If as Knicks fans, when we speak in absolutes, it kind of for one, it takes us out of the realm of the potential things that could happen, and at the same time, it puts us in these situations where if our perceived predictable outcomes is ultimately different than what has actually happened, now we can't figure out what's going on, and now we want to fire Tibbs for no reason because we can't figure it out.
Remember what you asked earlier? Hold on, y'all. Do you remember what you asked earlier in the day when you did the next morning drive? We know that Jalen is a bona fide mega superstar, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember,
Right.
and you were saying if he fell, do we have a contingency plan for the backup? Do we have a plan B?
Right.
I mean, I'm going off the point that you're saying. Like me, I think if Jalen, which I don't think he's going for, because I think that boy is solid tough. He Tonka truck tough and stuff like that.
With them sharp corners, used to bust our head open. Yeah, I remember them.
Oh my God!
And them yellow Tonka.
Hold on. I got a gas right here from a Tonka truck. But anyway,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But
I got hit with one and fell on one.
Oh my God, them things are terrible, man. Matter of fact, if you throw a Tonka truck at a car right now, the old school Tonka truck to a fiberglass truck right now, car, man, they tear that car up. That Tonka truck still rolling. Yeah, the Tonka truck gonna win.
Now I ain't gonna throw that Tonka truck into no Cadillac sedan DeVille. Now that Tonka truck gonna get beat up. That sedan DeVille was like 20 foot long. You remember them, Wiz?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Go ahead. Keep going.
All right, but what I was saying was, if Brunson was to go down, and like you said, he was a mega superstar in our eyes. But I don't care about no ranking and how they opinionate our point guard, because now we got to finally say we got a bona fide point guard after all these years. But if he was to go down, I think Quickly would step up and hold it down for at least 15 to 20 games until Brunson come back.
Right.
In my eyes, I think Quickly is adequate for the job. He's not capable for holding it for a whole season. I think Keith said that earlier. Keith Turner or Kerry Cox said that earlier, that he's not capable of holding the season down for X amount of games. But I will give him at least 15 to 20 games until Brunson come back.
And that's no slight on him.
Right,
because most players in the NBA can't carry a team 82 games. Any player, I don't care who it is.
That's grueling.
Right. I mean, even Giannis out of 82, if he's healthy, is going to give you about 55 or 60 great games. That's just the human element. Like nobody's going to be. Think about it. Some days you're just going to be off. You wake up in the morning, you take your shower, you drink your coffee, you smoke your cigarette, you put your clothes, and that day for some reason you just feel off. It just happens. It's the human element, man. It's nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So if Quickly does it for 15 to 20 games, okay. DSJ been mighty quiet, man. DSJ, you waiting on the Hood Goddess remix?
He found Renee.
You doing a remix for the remix?
You and Wiz to fight that one out.
I was just about to say that he's looking for Renee. He found Renee. That's funny. Yo, actually, Freezer, this morning, man, I listened to the replay, the Brunson question. Which, first of all, let me just get on your chat again for a second, man. the craziest thing was it took you like 10 minutes to explain. You said,
Lord have mercy. Somebody complained about explaining?
No. You got to hear him out on this one. Hear him out on this one. Get with. Because I know where he's going.
So you believe Brunson is a megastar, and then you gave the question of what if, and people are like, what do you mean? Brunson's a star. They all chasing you down. Like, you started off saying he's a megastar. You didn't say superstar. You said mega, and they chased you down. So I gotta go there. But next is I'm gonna have to go talk to the wife, man, because she. Gotta take care of the house.
Yeah, let's go make that money. Make that money, man.
I'll right back.
Man, make that money, man. Make that money, man. You don't make that money, man.
Me, why you not home yet? I'm at the commercial kitchen helping her restock her vegan ice cream. All right, I'll be right back.
Right. Okay. We got you.
What's the machete?
Right. And so what Wiz was saying is this morning I prefaced it with a statement saying that ultimately I believe, and nobody else in Knicks universe believes this but me, but Jalen Brunson is a megastar, right?
I believe it.
And in my opinion, he's the best point guard in the NBA.
I'm with you.
That's my opinion.
I'm with you.
Others will have their own opinions, and they are entitled to them, right? But
quiet money salute.
Just because our opinions differ doesn't mean that yours is right. So ultimately, what I'm getting at is when I say Jalen Brunson is a megastar, but what if he can't duplicate what he did last year?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a contingency plan?
Mm-hmm.
That was a question that I asked this morning. And what Wiz was saying was not that I said something crazy. Wiz was just outlining the fact that I said all of that stuff and explained it for 10 minutes. And then the chat went crazy about Jalen Brunson is not a bust. Right? That's what Wiz was getting at. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is I said all of that stuff, explained it, outlined all these things. But I'm going to ask y'all, since I got a big live jumping panel. Yo, Dre, what if Jalen Brunson can't duplicate what he did last year? Do the Knicks have a plan B?
No. I don't. I mean, like, what would be the plan B? To have someone surpass Brunson as being the alpha number one guy on this team? The only alternative to that would be like doing a Embiid trade. That's the only thing. But you would do that anyway. In my mind, you would do that anyway, even if Brunson performed at the same level or even better. So I don't know if we have a contingency, but I don't think most teams don't have a contingency for their all-star, superstar, all-NBA guy falling off. So it's hard for me to say because most teams don't operate thinking, okay, maybe this guy might regress.
That's why I think you might be wrong, bro. I might think you might be thinking linear.
Whoa, in terms of like a contingency, I mean, it depends on. Well, there are factors like age that come into play for certain guys.
No. I'm thinking, okay, so say Joel Embiid's offense falls off a cliff, right? The Sixers' plan B or their contingency would not be find another Joel Embiid.
It would be get more better players around.
No. It would be this. The same thing with Jalen Brunson. If Jalen Brunson's production falls off a cliff, the Knicks' plan B or contingency wouldn't be find another Jalen Brunson. Their contingency plan would be change their style of play. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, change their style of play.
I completely thought about that aspect. When we were just talking about Tibbs and our ceiling and everything, I completely omitted that in my mind.
Right. Yeah. No doubt. Like for instance, if Joel Embiid's offense falls off a cliff, where in the world are the Sixers going to find another Joel Embiid at? You can't. You can't, right?
No.
So instead of having the offense still go through Joel Embiid, knowing that his offense is not there, what they would do probably is start getting up and down the floor, running, change their style from a half-court team that goes through Joel Embiid to getting those young.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yo.
I think Freezie got
Wow.
froze.
Yeah,
I think
according to
Freezie
me.
froze. Yeah.
Oh man.
Now here I step into a world. I know I saw it. So I saw the little circle of death. I was like,
Step into my world.
you know what I'm saying?
Pick up.
Yeah, but Dre, so what I'm saying is, what if Jalen Brunson's
You change play style. I get that. I get that. I get that point. But in
Yeah.
my mind, like, to a certain extent, if you're viewed as one of those guys, you can, like, in my mind, in any system, Brunson will be Brunson. In my mind,
right?
His skill level dictates that. I think he can ascend, but I don't think he'll regress. Maybe I think we're viewing it in two different ways. Where it's like, I think teams change coaches to hit once they hit a certain floor or ceiling, they think, okay, we can get to another level. So then that's when they change. I don't think there's like a regression, but in the same token, complacency might as well be regression, right? At this stage of the game,
right?
If you're complacent,
being the same is a step back.
Yeah. So in that sense, a change of play style will come.
But let me give you a non-binary thought process to the what if Jalen Brunson question.
Right.
So what if Jalen Brunson steps on somebody's foot and does damage to his foot, and he's out 3 to 5 months? Right. So he can't match the same production from last year because he's hurt. Right. So now do you go out and find another Jalen Brunson, or do you change your style of play while Jalen Brunson is out and then incorporate him into that play style once he returns, or slowly change back to what you were before the Brunson injury?
What
you feel me?
Said, man, I would do that. I'd give homeboy whoever it is, I can give him the benefit of the doubt. Let him develop.
Well, I'll say that to this point. As long as the coach is the coach, if you notice, when Brunson was out, IQ became the high volume, high usage.
Right, give it up to IQ.
And his numbers were impressive too, by the way.
Oh, it worked.
Give it up to
IQ. Absolutely. But that's not really changing our play style.
Right.
It's the same play style. It's just IQ has more autonomy to do the things that make he's comfortable with. So
I think it would give us a burst of energy, if you ask me, man. If not to cut you off, Dre.
You're good.
If Brunson was the 4, I think if IQ step up like the way he's supposed to step up, that'll get his team a different type of energy. And then when Brunson come back, we just ride the wave from there. Everybody can form transform, and roll out and do what they got to do. I mean, it's just everybody got to be on the same brain link, and that's what I'm saying. Right there.
I agree with you to a certain extent, Bully. But when we talk about the other teams around the league, for instance, the Nuggets over the course of the regular season, they weren't really a high isolation team. They didn't force that pick and roll with Jokic and Murray all the damn time like they did in the postseason. They got everybody involved, and then when it came down to the postseason, they went back to the bread and butter, while everyone else, all the ancillary parts, the role players, were already in a rhythm from the regular season. All they had to do was throw in that pick and roll or inverse pick and roll with Jokic and Murray into that mix, and it just became unstoppable. And I think that's kind of what you're trying to say, Freezie. You if Brunson were to go out, we would want IQ to step up. But the problem is it don't matter who is in or out of the rotation. We're going to play a specific way. It's why Alec Burks was asked to do Jalen Brunson things when he was ill-equipped to do those things. He didn't have the skill set. But if you notice,
tried, though.
A lot of the same things that we asked Alec Burks to do as the point guard, it's a lot of the same stuff Brunson does. It's just Brunson is very, very good at doing he's very good at getting to the paint, scoring, doing whatever whatever your team needs. And it's one of those things where it's Tibbs is a plug and play guy. It's why Hartenstein, we threw away everything that we knew Hartenstein was good at, passing, you know what I'm saying, being a hustle guy, and we told him, yo, just get rebounds and play drop coverage and protect the rim. They told Hartenstein to play like Mitch. Just like we asked Deuce McBride to come in the game. We asked Deuce McBride to play like Grimes or something.
Right.
And be an off-ball guard and play ferocious defense and take open threes.
Right.
It's a plug-and-play thing. And to that point, like, if you're just going to plug and play the same style no matter who's out on the court, eventually you're going to run into a brick wall. There has to be some sort of adjustments. And, like, your adjustment is, like, our contingency plan should be a difference in play style, but I don't think we're going to get that from this coach, in my mind.
Yeah, what I'm saying what I'm asking, first, so Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, if Joker becomes blind, what would Denver do? Interesting. Right. Interesting. Right. You mean color? You mean colorblind or really blind? I don't know.
I like him.
Right. But my thing is if Jalen Brunson is not able to replicate what he did last year for one reason or another, whether it's injury, system, personnel, schedule, whatever it is, do the Knicks have a contingency plan? I think they do. I think their contingency plan without Jalen Brunson is to go as small and fast as they can. Randall at the 5, Hart at the 4, RJ at the 3, Grimes at the 2 quickly at point with DiVincenzo and some others. And I know that's going to eliminate Mitch and Hartenstein. But then when you think about the defensive coverage, right? Instead of being a physical
switch everything.
Yeah. Now you just ask guys switching everything, right? So it's like, instead of it being like, y'all ever watch those old medieval movies where people storm the castle, right? Instead of our defense being storming the castle type defense, I think it'll be like Top Gun with all the fast pieces moving around and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So I think the Knicks do have a plan B. It's just their plan A worked out better than they anticipated. So they don't even talk about the plan B, which is maybe RJ at the 4, Randall at the 5, maybe Grimes at the 3, and quickly at the 2, and Brunson at the 1. You know what I'm saying? Where you get firepower from every offensive position on the floor. Now you got Randall being guarded by Rudy Gobert out on the perimeter. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Karl Anthony Towns guarding RJ Barrett out on the perimeter.
Or Josh Hart in transition off a rebound.
Yeah.
Trying to match up and cross match.
Yeah.
I'd say that.
The only difference though is Josh Hart.
That's Brian. Might be Brian.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I think it might be Brian is asleep.
BT sleep.
Brian's asleep right now.
Somebody knocked out.
Yeah, it's Brian. I muted him. It's Brian.
Nah, I was muted though. I was just waiting for you guys.
No, who was snoring?
Not me.
Let me see if it's.
Oh, it wasn't DSJ.
Oh, stop playing, my bruh. No, I know it wasn't.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm looking right at you.
Corey right here.
Nah, he's straight. Nah, But to the point
Wiz.
to the
Oh, no,
to
Wiz
the
going.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
going.
good.
But to the point
That
though,
was you.
in that scenario, the only thing is Josh Hart's decision making is so weird that instead of him picking up, say, Torian Prince, he'll go pick up Karl Anthony Towns in transition and think he can defend him.
And they get posted up
and dunked on
from the 3-point line.
Slammed on, yeah, from the 3-point line. Facts, Dre.
And Cat will back him all the way down and dunk on him, and then Josh Hart will laugh and be like,
I gave a good effort.
yeah, and then in the press conference be eating pizza, and then y'all will be
With
like,
the
yo,
shirt.
yeah, with a Brunson shirt on and a jacket with 1,000 zippers on it, and then y'all be talking about me like, Uncle Freezie, you crazy? Why you don't like Josh Hart? You know what I'm saying? So,
oh wow.
Yeah, man. Hey, y'all. Hey, I gotta wrap up right here, man. I'm gonna get out
All
of
right.
here so I can get some more studying in.
Man, get your study on, kid.
Yeah, man. Feel free to send me as much Pepsi Zero and snacks as you possibly can.
Pepsi Zero.
Ray and Freezie.
Yeah.
Ray and Freezie. I wear Crocs and I wear sliders, man. I'm just saying.
Not in Brooklyn, bro. You can't wear.
I'm in Brooklyn.
Man,
That looks like your girl slide, man.
Brooklyn, you're gonna slip and slide all day. You're gonna be Action Park Part 2.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Core. I know you ain't just said a little late, but shorty slides, right?
Yeah, they do. Look, with the fuzzies around it and whatnot, the fuzzy stuff around
Oh, that
ain't
man
no fuzzy
said.
nothing around here, boy. Man, go ahead, man. Go pick your nose, man. Go ahead.
it. Yeah, that's what he's scoring. We stop.
Everybody.